life and why it
Guys, it's
matters.
me, Leanna from Wellness Inspiring Spiritual Health. Happy Sunday. I'm so sorry that I didn't come on yesterday. I was like, it was so busy. I was an extra in a movie called The Pageant Reimagined, and so we spent all day just sitting and clapping and listening and doing it over and over and over. It was a lot of work for a very little bit amount of money, but I can definitely tell you that that what I saw just made me excited. So it should be out sometime around Christmas time. I believe it's a Christmas movie because we were singing a lot of Christmas songs. So make sure you check it out. You see it. It's going to be a great movie. You might even see me in it. I doubt it, but whatever. Anyway, today I'm going to talk to you guys about half-lives and why it matters, right? Why they matter. So basically, a half-life is how long it takes a substance to leave the body. So the substance can be a medication, a herb, a food, a vitamin, but a half-life will tell you how long it takes for half that substance to be eliminated from the body, right? And so why that is important. So the first reason why that is important is because when we're taking certain medications may take a long time, have a long half-life. But if we're taking that medication 1 or 2 times a day, right, and it may take the body 24, 48 hours to extinguish, to get to half that, right? What happens is that we start to bioaccumulate that substance in our body and it becomes toxic to us. That's usually when you start seeing side effects. And sometimes side effects come right away. Why? Because the body just really cannot tolerate that substance. And I always tell my doctor, right? My doctor will say, oh, well, if you take it and you have side effects, you just got to give the body a chance to get used to it. Well, the truth is that if I have a side effect right away, I don't want my body to get used to something that is causing it to have a side effect. Like, that makes absolutely no sense to me. But okay, that is the medical industry. I guess that's what they do. I don't know, right? So half-lives are important again because we want to know how long that substance is going to be in our body. And it really helps with dosing, right? So we want to make sure that we're taking the right dose for ourselves. It's really important that we pay attention to our bodies. Our bodies will tell us what's going on. Listen, I know I said once before that the body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, right? But the Holy Spirit is where God gives us wisdom and knowledge, right? We get wisdom and knowledge from the Holy Spirit, which is part of that Trinity, that God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, part of that Trinity. And so it's really important that we are paying attention to our bodies, right? And so a half-life is also important because it helps us to pick better alternatives. There's so many different things that we can do to pick a better alternative to a half-life. So let's talk a little bit about that. Yes. So example 1, green tea. So green tea, right, rich in antioxidants, catechisins. Like, it's just one of those real powerful substances. And green tea usually lasts in the body somewhere about 3 to 5 hours. Now, anything that lasts less than, say, 9 hours, you don't really have to worry about. If it has a half-life of less than 9 hours, 9 hours or less, you don't have to worry about it. You could take that every day, right? But if it's more than that, then you definitely want to pay attention to that. All right, so getting back to green tea. Green tea, you can have 2 or 3 cups of green tea a day, and it will constantly help the body to ward off a lot of free radicals, right? It'll flood the body with antioxidants and keep those free radicals from going around in the body and just messing things up, right? And medication. So I have to take levothyroxine for my thyroid, right? I have Hashimoto's disease, which means that my thyroid doesn't work, right? My thyroid stopped working. It stopped producing thyroxine, which is the hormone substance that tells the body, or like lets the body know that it needs to do certain things, right? And so T4 is levothyroxine is the synthetic version of T4. T4 is what the thyroid produces, T4, and then that same hormone is transformed into T3, which is the active part of that hormone that the body uses, right? And so I have to take synthetic T4, right? But I also want to make sure that that synthetic T4 is not just building up and building up and building up and building up, and just like sitting in the cells and stuff, because what happens is it becomes really toxic for us. And I want to make sure that it's also being converted into T3. So that's what those blood tests and stuff are for, right? But I also want to make sure that I am not taking too much. So if I'm taking that once a day, twice a day, right, it's going to throw everything else in my body off, because now it's going to become toxic in the body because it's too much. The body cannot extinguish it for more than it takes 7 days for that to become a half-life, right? To have half that substance in my system. So if I were to take my levothyroxine and I missed a day or 2 or 3 or 4 or even 7 days, right? I still have enough of that in my system to last me the 7 days. I would definitely need to take another dose at 7 days, right? But if I wanted to get off of medication completely, then that would take a little longer, right? Because remember, it's half, right? And then after 7 days, it's another half. And then after 7 days, it's another half, right? And so until it gets down to less than 1. And that is why we pay attention to half-lives. I hope I didn't lose you guys. I know it was a lot of information. I was trying to keep it as simple as possible, because I know when I was learning this stuff, it was crazy. I was like, what? So hit me up, leave some comments. Let me know if you get anything out of my videos. And if you do, like and share them. I love you guys. Be well, be inspired, and let God's Holy Spirit bring you back to great health. Peace.